What's up, everybody? Today is Season 2 Reloaded of Warzone, so we're going to go through the patch. You know what? What's up, everybody? Today is Season 2 Reloaded Warzone. Ignore the lack of background and the bad lighting. I actually move across the country starting tomorrow, but the grind never stops, so we're going to run through these patch notes. We're going to stream tonight, so these patch notes will be linked down below if you want to check them out for yourself, and my Twitch is also linked down below if you want to see anything. Try anything, want me to show you anything, just let me know in chat, and I will be happy to show you whatever you're looking for. As usual, we're going to skip stuff that's not super important, like these events. We're going to breeze through some of this stuff that was talked about in Intel Drop, which I'll link the blog post as well as my video down below. Here we have the Fortune's Key POI, the research vessel, which is going to have a decontamination station, a UAV tower, unique items in the buy station, its own helipad, there's ascenders to get up. And it's gonna move for the first 2 minutes around the map, and then it will stop in a certain location that'll be different every map. Modes, Vondel Battle Royale is coming back. If you remember, we had this before. It went away. It's coming back now, including its own nuke challenge or Champions Quest. The new weapon is going to be the SOA Subverter Battle Rifle, unlockable via weekly challenge, and the Soul Render melee weapon. It's like a sword, and it's in the mid-season sector of the Battle Pass. The new aftermarket parts are going to be the Jack Backsaw kit, which is a high-capacity drum magazine and a double barrel that shoots 2 bullets at the same time for the whole 5.56. That and what we'll talk about in the weapons, nerfs, and buffs could make the 5.56 meta. We'll have to see. Then we have the Jack Outlaw 277 kit for the Bass B, which turns into a lever action rifle. I'm sure it'll be fun in multiplayer, but it's probably going to be useless in Warzone because it's probably not going to one-shot. General adjustments: upon aiming down sight, the crosshair will now transition directly to the center of the player's screen rather than each position. The weapon adjustments: assault rifle, the MCW, near mid damage increase, and near mid damage increased. The Holger 5.56 max damage and max damage range, so that's the closer damage, both increased. So now the max damage is up to 36 meters, and the near mid damage is a variable, and that's set to 34. So it's in a drop off at 45.72 meters. So this could sneak into the meta, especially with the double barrel that shoots once. We'll have to see. It's a fairly easy weapon to use, and I have been using LMG Brother, and I think the recoil patterns are pretty damn similar. So that could be the new meta. BP50 got nerfs like all the way around. The max damage and near mid damage was nerfed. The hip fire spread, both minimum and maximum, nerfed. The attack stance spread nerfed. The aim down sight time and movement speed nerfed. The horizontal recoil nerfed. The vertical recoil was actually buffed, but that's the only buff for the base weapon. Then we have the 4-bearer heavy stock increased recoil gun kick benefit to, that's a buff, and the Moat 40 stock decreased down sight time benefit, so nerf. The SVA 545 got decreased to fire and decreased down sight time. That doesn't really help it too much in the long range, but if you found a way to make it work as a sniper support, something that definitely is going to help, but I don't think that's very popular, so kind of a useless change. Ram 7 max damage range decreased 26.7 meters, down from 33.2, and that max damage range is what made it so good. Of course, that will be increased a little bit with attachments, but the reason it was so good on Resurgence was because of that, because after 40 build, it dropped off super. So I expect the Ram 7 to be out. The MTZ 762 got a maximum and minimum damage, so that's close range and long range, decreased. The neck damage modifier decreased, lower torso damage modifier decreased, head damage modifier decreased, near mid damage range decreased. The Jack Heretic carbine kit for it got a buff in horizontal recoil, but a nerf in vertical recoil. So the MT7, although the base values aren't crazy nerfs, I expect this to be out of the meta because it didn't only close and far range damage. Multipliers for the neck, lower torso, head all got nerfed, and the damage range, the near mid damage got nerfed. So I expect that to be pretty much out. Probably still viable, but not recommended. Sidewinder decreased recoil intensity during sustained firing slightly. That's more of a lean into the aftermarket part kit than it is the original base gun. The A90 Venom stock decreased recoil gun kick penalty, so that's a buff, and the RB Rapid Strike grip increased aim down sight benefit and decreased recoil control penalty, so that's a buff as well. They're really trying to get you to SMG's AMR-9 double barrel kit, bullets are now fired in vertical column rather than randomized spread. That's huge for that aftermarket part kit. The spread is one of the main things that kept it from people. The Ram 9 Speedway V5 short barrel, decreased aim down sight speed penalty, increased recoil gun kick benefit, increased recoil benefit. FSS Imperator light barrel, increased bullet velocity benefit, increased damage range benefit. Boreal 6C suppressed barrel, decreased damage range penalty, decreased velocity penalty. The Ram 9 had all three of these barrels be buffed. WSP9 decreased minimum and maximum standing hipfire and decreased attack stance spread, so all of its spreads got buffed. The Rival 9 Jack Hunter carbine kit, near mid damage range 5.72, up from 32. Still not going to be used. PDSW improved alignment of the default iron sight optic. No one's really using that. Although I did run into somebody oddly this past week. The Lockwood 680 all barrel attachment pellet counts remained at 6 regardless of ammo capacity. The Bruin got a lower torso damage modifier increase. It also got decreased aim down sight, increased movement speed, increased crouch movement speed, attack sprint speed, and increased aim down sight movement speed. So movement speed buff, a lower torso damage modifier buff, but as long as it still has visual shake and visual recoil close to Modern Warfare 2, I don't see people using it. Although if you can one-time sight, it's actually very, very good, and this movement speed on sight time help it also a lot. The POI 762 increased strength of aim down sights way, and Jack Annihilator bullpup kit decreased bullet velocity. So they're really trying to take this thing out of the meta. Some people are still using it. One of my buddies is still using it. I think it'll still be fine. The idle sway is actually kind of a big change depending on how strong it is. And the bullet velocity is a major nerf, but I expect it to be used at the same rate it is, so not very often. The XRK Stalker decreased aim down sight time to 580 milliseconds, down from 610. Added new optic, the iron sight, unlock via armory unlocks. Cat AMR decreased down sight speed to 720, down from 760 milliseconds. And the SPX 80, which nobody is using, down sight time to 570 meters, up from 545. The XRK Stalker getting a aim down sight buff is huge, bring it a lot closer like the car did in Warzone 1, and the Cat AMR definitely needed that aim down sight. Handguns, Renetti, the Jack Ferocity carbine kit got max and min damage buff, but nobody's going to use it. The Core 45 XRK IPV got increased bullet velocity, not going to be used. CYR near mid damage range increase, not going to be used. And 9mm Damon, the Damon hand rear grip added missing pistol fast draw benefit. The Wonder Waffle got buffed, but it's a limited time weapon on Fortune's Keep only, so not really significant. Attachments to underbarrel launchers, they addressed an exploit that allowed players to fire unlimited projectiles. The Jack Limb Ripper underbarrel chainsaw increased movement speed while revving by 25% and increased damage range. Then general, the audio improvements, they boosted ascender and parachute audio distances to 60 ascender and 100 feet for parachutes. The overall volume of reviving a teammate has been slightly increased. A new unique sound added for reviving a player so that it is more significant, noticeable to nearby players. And reviving a teammate using a med vest now is a unique audio cue that players within a small radius can hear. Final elimination cam, the last kill of every match of any BR and Resurgence map will be shown. Resurgence combat record should now be active. They added a PDS to all modes, the personal decontamination station, which gives you a circle of about 6 meters to protect you from gas. And the safe zone lasts 15 seconds or until the PDS is destroyed. And you can actually put it on vehicles. Mentioned here. Drop. Fortune's Keep Resurgence, the new Bunker Buster, which penetrates missile. It's a penetrating missile through multiple floors. It will blast through 3 floors and have a gas column following it. The gas column will last for 25 seconds. It'll be interesting to see how long the blast is, or how strong the blast is. Especially added the column. I'm assuming the blast won't be strong, but that gas will be similar to like gas grenade. Adjusted features, the pre-match lobby in all modes will now instantly swap instead of having to die first. Looting improvements, significant improvements have been made to the top and bottom shelf auto looting system. Players can now expect a more consistent, predictable auto pickup that is both above and below the player's current height and level, aka on shelves. Backpack auto refill, field upgrades, kill streaks, tactical and lethal equipment will now auto-equip if identical items are found in the backpack. If not, the next closest non-identical item will auto-equip. I thought that was already a thing. I guess not. Redeploy pack flare. A flare will now appear when players respawn via redeploy pack. Minimap vehicles. Vehicles will now appear on the minimap 10 meters farther out. On Resurgence for all maps, the most wanted contract time is now down to 3 seconds instead of 4. On Fortune's Keep, these loot adjustments are major. The kill streak spawns have been reduced by approximately 30%. A max of 1 kill streak will spawn in base and legendary caches, and supply boxes will now spawn more armor plates. If you played Fortune's Keep, you probably noticed that cluster and precision strikes mortar strike, clusters are just spammed all over the map, being that they're all in buy stations, and they've been extremely lootable. I usually have more than one on my person because I find them so often and have space for them. And then there's also been a lack of armor plates, so these are very good loot adjustments. And then plunder for Urzikstan cash deposit improvements. Don't really care. Lethal equipment, throwing knives, another change. A lot of us were looking for. The damage is now reduced to set 175, down from 200, and it will only one shot to the head or on a downed player. Frag grenades got a big nerf. Damage reduced to 155, down from 200, and outer damage reduced 110 from 175. Battle Rage now removed a reference in the description about regenerating health. That was a Warzone 2 thing. Tactical equipment, stun grenades resolved an issue causing the movement reduction effect to be removed. And EMD grenades, which added additional UI elements to better communicate. Tracked enemies will now appear as a constant ping on the minimap. Players can no longer die unexpectedly when doors. Maybe this will get used. Arguably, the snapshot, which also has been very bad in this iteration of Warzone, is more useful because you can players, and for the EMD grenade to hit, the trackers have to actually connect on. Perks, quick fix, minor update to the description and subscription text. Don't know what that means. And then ranked optics. All thermal optics are now restricted as they were supposed to be. I don't know which ones weren't, but apparently some weren't. The final placement SR has been adjusted to the top 12 having 15, the top 8 being 30 SR, the top 5 being 50 SR, the top 3 being SR. I don't remember off the top of my head what they were, but victory is 100 SR like it was. That remains unchanged. And prox chat is now disabled and ranked. And then finally, I looked through the bug fixes. There's nothing to really talk about. But for UI, UX stuff, the Exfil player card will now shows their emblems and gamer tag in the Exfil cinematic. Not that anybody but the winning watching that. Deployable buy station icons will now show above other icons on the TAC map for better visibility and legibility. But that is all of the changes coming to Warzone today with the mid-season update for Season 2. So we got a new battle rifle. We got a new melee weapon. We got a bunch of weapon changes. We got more audio improvements, but we parachuting, whatever. So quality of life stuff. Definitely interested to check out this season today. Like I said, this will be linked down below, as well as the intel drop from earlier this week and my video covering the intel drop. Plus, my Twitch will be linked down below. Come into chat tonight if you want to see the new weapon. You want me to try out nerfed or buffed weapons. And on the new boat POI, whatever it is, let me know in chat tonight. I will be happy to oblige you. And all my other social medias are linked down below as well. So if you want to check those out, follow, like, share, whatever. I do appreciate that always. But I will see you on probably really just Fortune's Keep tonight. Maybe some Urzikstan. Get frying. Have a good day.